Okay, so what can a woman do to retain a man? And before you answer,
sure,
I also want to understand, what can a woman do to make herself available to him so he knows that she's interested, but then not coming across as like too crazy? Because obviously a man, from what I've learned from my brother, I've understood that a man wants to know that she's about him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm for you, you're the man, I want you, right?
Yeah.
That's apparently how it needs to go. So, but then can't she come on too strong? Like, what can a woman do?
So, do you want me to speak for me or objectively, like for men in general?
Wouldn't it be the same?
No, because I've learned some things that I've had to kind of learn from like my experience. For example,
I'd like to know
I'll give you
both.
an example.
Thank you.
So, right, it used to be if a girl bothered me a lot and texted me a lot, I would get annoyed and frustrated and be like, what the fuck? But then I realized, oh, this girl's not a... She's actually invested, and she doesn't do this all the time, which is why she's annoying the shit out of me, because she feels a sense of connection, because she's like, okay, I don't hook up with anyone, so bam, immediately she's like bonding to me, right? So I'm like, okay,
that's
cool,
sweet.
right? So I'm like, I used to get annoyed by that, but then I was like, no, that's actually a good sign. So I've come to respect that and tolerate it more, where it used to annoy me, right? But I would say is like for a girl in general, right? So like that's my thing, right? I got annoyed, but it took me some time to figure it out, right? So that's some personal reflection. But for a woman in general, right? Obviously, don't be annoying about it. But what I would say is like you got to come in and figure out where the guy's deficient, and then kind of come in and fill that void. And when women are, and here's the thing too, like women are fantastic at like being socially aware, socially calibrated, seeing things. They can walk into a room and read the room. Like women need to take that skill set and be able to figure out what their guy needs, right? So like if you go into his place and you realize, okay, this guy probably needs some fucking spoons or some shit like that. This guy, you know, most guys are bachelor pad guys and they don't have shit, maybe one spoon, one fork. Bring in like a silver set or something like that, right? Bring some spoons and forks. You'll be like, wow, he's really going to appreciate that, because, dude, I can't tell you how many guys go through life and they've never received anything from a woman ever besides their mom. So a girl being like creative and thoughtful, like that goes a mile, like really far, because most girls don't give guys shit.
But what if it's early and like you don't know? I'm asking for personal reasons.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
What if you don't know where the gap is in his life, and you see him, you're like, okay, that's a cool one. I like him.
Yeah, I think women are too scared of showing interest, and they're too scared of investing early on, because women are like typically aren't used to investing. But what I would say is, if the guy's a winner, you got to kind of stand out from the other girls, and investing in a guy early on. It's a risk. It's always a risk, right? Because you don't know where that man stands. He might want to just fuck bitches, and he might not even want a serious girlfriend. Or you might have to do, here's another thing that's unpopular, but I tell girls all the time. You might have to play the waiting game. And what I mean by this is, understand, like, let's say he's not willing to commit, but you really like him. You're just always there. You're always available. You're the one that pretty much rides it out. You're the one that rides it out. I can't tell you how many times where one of my main chicks, like, she just rode it out longer than the other girls and provided more value over a longer period of time. I was like, God damn. Okay. And then she starts to get privileges and certain accesses that other girls aren't. And then just by virtue of her being around and being available, being useful, being an asset, I can't kick her to the curb because she's too goddamn useful. And what'll end up happening, and I've always said, like, when a woman is like coachable and trainable, that man will train her into a woman that he will grow to eventually love. This is why the guy's got to be a leadership role. When a woman changes a man, she's going to change him into something she's eventually going to hate and resent, because he was able to change, right? But when a man is able to change or grow into what he needs, he's going to grow to love her, because she's like, damn, I can't operate with this girl. Like, bro, I don't even know how to do my laundry or nothing. Like once a woman becomes an indispensable piece of that man's repertoire, you fucking got him. But that takes time, that takes investment, that takes risking, that takes also the ability to be like, okay, he might fuck other bitches, he's not ready right now, but I'm going to stand the test of time. And at the end of the day, all these other hoes are going to come in and out. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be for him. And then trust me, they're going to notice that. Because the thing about modern day women is this. Women have so many options nowadays that they're not patient. So since they have so many options, they're like, why am I going to wait on this guy? I got this MLB player talking to me. I got this NBA player over here. I got this NFL player. So since women have all these options, what ends up happening is they conflate those options with real relationship opportunities. And the two are not the same. Just because you can fuck this guy doesn't mean you can retain this guy. Mm-hmm. So if you do find the guy that you like, you think he's worth it, etc., it's on the girl too to have some critical thinking skills and figure out if the guy's worth it. Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you how many times just playing the long game and being there and outlasting all the other girls and adding value, bruh, he has no choice but to pick you. And even if you don't get like picked as like the main girl, you're gonna still be one of the girls. That's loyalty, and that's very, very difficult to find with the way women are, because women are taught to trade up, women are taught to find another guy, women are taught to date and exercise options, etc. If you go against the grain and you actually stay loyal to that guy over the long period of time, and the big thing is outlasting the other girls, man, that's gonna leave a crazy impression.
So just adding as much value as possible, just always being there.
Yeah.
And just
I can't tell you how many times like girls that are like not even the hottest of the hot, they just outlasted other hot girls. Because I've always said it, hot girls are because they've rarely had to be useful in their life. So even if you're a girl that's like maybe 6, 7, whatever, you're gonna outlast a bad bitch because bad bitches are useless.
Yeah. So difficult. It's difficult.
It's competitive. And and this is the thing. This is the thing for women that they don't understand. The problem is that there's not enough eligible bachelors to go around.
Exactly.
So for women, it really sucks because the more successful you are, the prettier you are, the more money you have, etc., you're competing for a very small pool of men. So the way you're going to win a lot of times is just outlasting the other girls.
This is literally what my brother tells me. Like my brother will tell me like, no, you should speak to this guy. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't. And and he's like, no, Leia, you should. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it because you tell me to.
Yeah. Higher status men a lot of the times aren't going to chase women.
Yeah.
That's another thing too that kind of women need to understand is that like once you get with a guy that has options, etc., you're going to have to do a good amount of the pursuing.
Interesting.
And it might be for a period of time, but you'll start to notice that you're like getting a more serious position. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go do this, you want to come with me, you want to travel with me? Or he starts inviting you into more personal things, introduces you to his friends or whatever it may be. These are all like good signs that you're like moving up the totem pole.